ready myself. Shadow boxing right now. Hi, I'm Craig. Feel me joy living in England. And do you guys think that when Lee Cronin takes his wife to bed, he's all like, "Give me some of Lee Cronin's pussy"?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I'm Dave Gray, and this week I learned that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him think.
Oh, we need a good snapback now, Tyler. Come on.
Shit, I don't even have any lyrics like ready right now. Son of a bitch. Yeah, I'm too on the spot. I'm Tyler Hosley, and this week I learned absolutely nothing. I don't have any song lyrics to say like Dave just did. That was epic. But I did see someone eating those little Vienna sausages straight from the can, and I just can't get the image out of my head. It's making me nauseous just thinking about it right now. People are fucking savages, and it's gross.
People are savages.
Disgusting.
There's what's that film? Beyond the Door. There's this. I think it's from the 70s, like a 70s kind of dodgy Exorcist ripoff. And I watched it with my wife, and it starts off, and there's this kid in it who's drinking soup, cold soup from a can with a straw in the first scene, and Stephanie was just like, "He's the evil one." And she was right. So that is the sort of thing that evil people will do.
I used to work with somebody that would eat them directly from a can with Cheese Whiz.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's just, what the fuck?
He was a monster. When his wife left him, I just said good and never spoke to him again.
You know, nothing grosses me out hardly ever, but just, yeah, I can't believe those are like available for human consumption. Those fucking Vienna sausages. I don't get it. I'll never get it, but whatever.
What even is Cheese Whiz?
Cheese in a can.
It's very processed cheese. Like I don't know if it qualifies as cheese legally, but it's delicious.
Okay.
That's the only way you can have a real Philly cheesesteak is with cheese whiz.
Okay.
Jesus. That's a take.
I'm Kevin Matthews, Scottish film fan living in England, and the rotation of how we chat this week means that I will probably be able to piss Tyler off at least twice this week before he can get in there with his own rebuttal. Yay! And this is Raiders of the Podcast.
Yay!
So, I was probably the only one of us to get along to the cinema in the past couple of days and see Scary Movie, aka Scary Movie 6. Nobody else would have gone to see that, and nobody else certainly shouldn't pay money. It's bad. You could probably tell it was bad when their marketing and hype repeatedly made use of the famous "What's up" phrase that was hot for 1 minute 20 odd years ago. So yeah, like Scary Movie's bad. Whatever anyone else tells you, don't believe them. Scary Movie is bad. And if I'm kind, I would think that reusing some of the gags and the moments from the original Scary Movie is in line with Scream reworking the original Scream beats. But I'm not feeling kind because the Wayans have been going all around claiming that they're some kind of saviors of film comedy and masters up there with Mel Brooks, superior to the Zaz team, like superior to the people who made Airplane and the Naked Gun movies. And they are not. They are really not. The Scary Movie is bad. Like, there was maybe 2 jokes that I laughed at. Like, maybe. And, I've discussed with you guys in chat. Like, there were things I was thinking of while scenes were playing out that, to me anyway, would have made those scenes better. But it would have required just not being so downright lazy with every moment. But what do I know? You know, I was thinking of movie riffs when I should have just thought of more gags centered around closet homosexuality and and female genitals being hounded.
That
You
should,
know, the
duh,
underground
Kevin.
town. I
Duh.
know.
I've invented a phrase just now. Don't believe the type can be or use anytime Tyler gets going on one of his
Yeah,
scary
that's-
movie loving.
Would I tie to you? But yeah, I'm warning everyone so that nobody else goes to see it, and nobody will have gone to see it already. So that's fine. I know that won't come up again later on at all. As I say, I like
Devious.
the weapons gag that's kind of done really in the trailer is good. There was quite a fun Candyman gag. That to me, those were like two gags that made me mildly chuckle. And I do really like Anna Faris, and I do really like. Damn it! I always forget her name.
Regina Hall.
Regina Hall. Thank you. 'Cause I always worry about confusing her name with the name Regina King, just because they're both Reginas, not because you can throw accusations of racism back at me. I like them, and like I like watching them. So them getting any kind of vehicle to be in where they're being funny and they're together like that actually makes even the scary movie series like at least watchable for me. But I wish they would like not do this. It's yeah, it's not good. Not good. And then I was disappointed because there was a cameo appearance from someone, and I was like, oh, that's the guy from Shrinking. I like him in that. I found out he's also Wayne's. I was like, damn it, because I'm just so annoyed with the Wayans brothers right now because of them going along. Like in the third act of this film, I mean, jokes are strewn throughout it that are just about how the series suffered when it wasn't in the hands of the Waynes. And the third act is really built on that idea. I mean, no spoilers. That's kind of what they've been saying in interviews. So they're just using the film to reiterate that.
I mean, I just have a question.
Yeah.
How did you not know he was a Wayans when his name is Damon Wayans Jr.?
I don't think I'd ever I'd never looked up his name before. I just enjoyed his
Okay.
character in Shrinking, where he is he's called Derek. And there's another guy in Shrinking called Derek, and it's like this running joke that all Dereks are wonderful in their group because they're like great Dereks. So, I just didn't look up his actual name because why would I? It's only a show I've really enjoyed with a cast of people in it that I liked.
Who's
But
the
yeah,
action Wayans? Not the comedy Wayans. He's not in with the comedy ones. He's the action Wayans. I think he did a film with Steven Seagal and a couple of other ones in the late 90s.
I mean,
is that Damon?
I think so.
I mean, they're all comedy Wayans. I mean, Damon Senior was a comic actor long before he did the bad action movies and tried to be Danny Glover a couple years ago.
But it was Damon Wayans. It was in The Last Boy Scout, wasn't it? I think.
Yes, it is. It's No
Yes.
Money, Bulletproof.
Yeah.
God, what else was he in? Blank Man. Earth Girls Are Easy. Oh, why haven't we done Earth Girls Are Easy yet?
Celtic Pride. I love that movie.
No,
Where he kidnaps
that
them.
movie. except
Sorry,
for you.
T. I thought you were trying to say that's the reason we hadn't done Earth Girls Are Easy yet. I was like, don't believe it's Celtic Pride for us not having done that. I was really confused there.
Earth Girls Are Easy is terrible, but I like Celtic Pride.
Earth Girls Is Easy is a goddamn classic. You whore.
Oh, I hate that.
The best
Well,
thing
someday we
about
will watch it.
this scary movie is the hint that Dave may somehow end up having to watch it at some point. I don't know why or where, but I just
Here,
you probably
Tyler.
have to off until
What do you mean? Why or
I don't think
where?
Tyler will
Please.
actually make us watch a scary movies.
I've never picked one yet, have I?
No, exactly. I think it would
Not
be a
yet.
30-day film for you.
He will panic. He'll be like, I gotta find 4 movies. Oh, I know, scary movie. The Way-In Scary Movie franchise. That's my pick for specials in October. And we'll all have to watch those and cry. Yeah, I see this coming.
I can pick 3. Okay.
You know what's actually funny though is, and I'm sure Dave has told us this many times over the years. It's Prom Night 3: The Last Kiss. And
I love Prom Night 3: The Last Kiss.
Yeah.
I love it, and most people hate it. I have it on VHS right above my desk right here. Right next
most
to...
people hate it. It's so much fun.
it is
I
so
actually
good.
put it above 1 and 2. I always forget because I know you really like 2. And I thought like 2 was the big one you gone about, and then you probably said like, three's okay as well. You should check out. But I've obviously misremembered your praise for it, because yeah, it's an absolute blast. It is a shame that they couldn't bring back the same girl doing Mary Lou, but a few years had passed, so maybe it's just the timing. And I do think Courtney Taylor, who is Mary Lou in this installment, is really good. Because she does the sort of like the traditional almost 50s style Americana housewife stuff for a few scenes, and then juxtaposes that with absolute psychotic behaviour that's great, and a young teen lad who likes having this sexy young woman beside him 1 minute and is like, stop giving me dead bodies to bury the next. It's just so much fun, and more people should be fans of it. So, yeah. Another fun one, actually, but one that I'm sure is not on top of Dave's list, just landed on Netflix and is actually a good streaming choice, which, I've taken some hits lately, but Vicky and I sat down this evening and we watched Office Romance, which is Jennifer Lopez and Brett Goldstein, and is very funny. It was good. It has the rom, it has the com, makes the rom-com work. Also, is it Betty Gilpin that was in Glow and The Hunt?
Yeah.
Yes.
She's in this. She's very funny in a major supporting role. It's really good if that's what you're looking for. It's got the romance, it's got the laughs, it's got quite a few very sweary scenes that work really well. We laughed aloud hard a few times, and I've not seen Vicky that happy since I offered to sit in stony silence while she rewatched Norbit. There's a ringing endorsement for you, you know. I finally watched Lee Cronin's The Mummy, funnily enough, and I didn't really like any of it. I'd been forewarned that it's not really a mummy movie. It goes into more of an Evil Dead movie as things play out. I just didn't get enough fun from that aspect of it either. So for me, it didn't work as a mummy movie, and then it didn't work as this, unofficial Evil Dead style romp. So it just sat there in the middle, being really, really bad. Like it's really bad. I can see why they absolutely started to just not push it and get it in and out of cinemas as quickly as possible and try and make some money off it from streaming or home rentals. It's just so bad. And I think that is me. Did I mention Ladies First last week? Do we need to reopen that old wound?
I think
No, you mentioned it.
So, yeah.
Well, I apologise for mentioning it again. But, it's on a par with the barrel scraping that is Scary Movie, which nobody else watched this week and nobody has to mention again. So there's that.
Yay.
Well, someone else did go to the theater to see Scary Movie 6. This said someone got there 10 minutes before it started, and this said someone had to sit in the front fucking row, which I was not happy. My neck was like sore by the time it was over. But
it's going to make so much money.
Oh my god, it was. Thursday night I went. I'm like, there's no way it's gonna be busy. Like, I just didn't think it would be. And I walked in, there was no seats. I'm like, son of a bitch. So I just there was 2 seats in the front row, so we just sat up there. I'm like, well, I guess this is where I'm sitting. I haven't done that since like the first Transformers. It's been years. Usually if there's only the front seats, I just won't go. But I was already here, so I'm like, fuck it. But yes, this said someone, if you haven't figured that out, was me. No fucking way, right? Can you believe it? How shocked are you guys? It was me. But look, yes, I did like this movie and it did make me laugh. Okay. Ray and Shorty being the highlights for me. And the Sinner's Church scene is hysterical. Like, I laughed really hard at that Sinner's Church scene. But look, I don't go into these expecting amazing movies or quality cinema. I never do. I just want to laugh at some like dick jokes and pussy eating jokes and cum jokes and weed jokes, which this has every one of those, like throughout the whole running time. But is it a good movie? No, it's not a good movie. It's not a good movie at all. Like, it's pretty bad. But it made me laugh like a lot. So look, I'll take it. I'll take what I can get. I like the Wayans brothers. And hold on, let me say this now. I fucking hate Airplane and I hate the Naked Gun movies, but I love Don't Be a Menace in South Central. I like White Chicks and I like A Haunted House. I like the Wayans and I don't like the Zucker brothers. So I was fine when the Wayans are bashing 3 and 4 during the final act of Scary Movie 6. So I don't like the Zucker brothers. I never did. So yeah, I did like Scary Movie 6. Is it good? No, but I laughed. So there you go. And to just, just keep this train rolling, because I saw Backrooms, which I didn't like at all, actually. Actually, no, scratch that. I liked some of Backrooms. I liked the found footage stuff. I was invested every single time they went to the POV style. If the whole movie was shot POV, found footage, I probably would have liked this movie so much more. But we had to get this awful, awful dime store psychology writing, which was clearly written by a 20-year-old, or co-written, like I should say. But the whole thing is just, I couldn't listen to these characters speak. It was just so dime store psychology levels of just someone that has no idea what they're talking about, and it drove me crazy. It just feels like Baby's first David Lynch movie. That's what it feels like. I don't understand why people I get Obsession. I love Obsession.
Because
Like,
it's
that
being
was
seen by teenagers. That's why. That's who's
it's
talking
so
about it.
it's so weird to me, because I'm watching this movie and I'm like, I know nobody's gonna agree with me on this, but I've seen better YouTuber movies. I fucking love Shelby Oaks. I think Shelby Oaks is 1,000 times better than Backrooms. 1,000. As derivative as it is, I would rather watch Shelby Oaks over and over again, never watch this again. I didn't know Together was a YouTuber movie, but Together is awesome as well. Craig pointed that out, but I really like Together. But I did not like Backrooms. I liked things in Backrooms, but I don't get it. I never will. So, but that is me for the week.
Oh man, we share a lot this week. I also saw Backrooms. I liked it a bit more than T, but not much. I agree it is not well written. The psychology stuff is goofy. Like, I get it. I get what it's going for. It's just, as a liminal space movie, I don't think it really worked. I know, like, in the marketing, they're like, oh, we had 30,000 square feet and the crew kept getting lost, but they don't make you feel that in the film. And that hurts it. The cast is really good, and that's what really makes it work, because on a technical level, it's pretty mediocre. I do agree that the found footage bits are the best, but overall, it just did not work for me. I followed that up with Exit 8. I preferred Exit 8. I don't remember if you guys had seen that
I have.
yet.
I
Yeah,
have not. It looks pretty good to me.
yeah, I liked Exit 8. It's a decent game adaptation, and it's probably my favorite of the liminal space films that have come out lately. I just thought it was better. It just worked more for me, and that's just personal interpretation. I get why Backrooms hit at a time, I think, where it really does speak to the audience it's made for. I think that's awesome. I don't think it'll be one that holds up long term. Everything sucks, so horror will do well. Scary movie will do well. I'm curious to see what folks make while we've got this little crest going, more than what's currently coming out. I did like Exit 8, though, so check out Exit 8. And I also saw only 2 others. I saw Obsession, finally, which it was okay. I didn't love it like a lot of people did. I think because my problem is I'm I'm just not that interested in watching an abuser abuse someone for that long, and I'm more interested in what happens after that personally, because I don't know, like it was fine. I think the cast was really good, and it was decently made. I don't know, it just didn't grab me. And instead, I wanted to see what happened with the fallout of everything instead of what was going on. Which maybe that's just me. I'm just more interested in that other end, and we never see that. And it's probably because we never see that other end. We always see here's the scary thing. Here's this dude abusing and raping a woman for an hour and a half. And he is the monster, so I get it. So let's kill him and see what happens after that. Maybe it's just because I'm old and bitter and cynical. I was far more interested in the people like enabling him, which all got totally backseated. And I think that's my problem. They didn't do any of the things I would have found interesting. And that's a me thing. I get that. I totally understand that. And I finished it off. I saw John Wick for the first time since it originally came out. And it's John Wick. Who doesn't the first John Wick's really fun. Should there be a billion sequels? No. Did it play itself out after 2? Yes, but the first John Wick film is a solid action flick. It's a good one. I'm glad I went back to it.
I also watched Backrooms. I really liked it. What I wanted it to do was obviously take the uncanny aesthetic that everyone links to the YouTube videos and such, and give it a compelling reason to exist and a compelling reason why it's dangerous. And it did that for me. It really did. Like the stuff concerning memory and perspective, that worked really well for me. It made it's already quite an eerie setting, but all that stuff made it kind of legitimately haunting at points to me. It did a number on me. Without spoiling anything, there is a creature or being that arrives in the third act, and a whole section of my cinema audience, they were just laughing at it. They just thought it looked ridiculous. And okay, maybe some of the makeup wasn't the best, but for me, the full realization of what that thing was and where it had come from and what it was made from, it freaked me the fuck out, and it just made me a bit sad and a bit sick, to be honest. It really, really, really worked for me in that respect. Two central performances, really good. I think the set design is superb. There's some model work in there which is just fucking incredible, and I think the sound design at points is just pure nightmare fuel. The creature I mentioned makes noises that deeply upset me. I think my only issue is that it is undeniably heavy-handed, and it lays everything out too clearly. This is what this film is about, and part of me thinks it's just a 20-year-old making a feature and lacking confidence. But I think more than that, another part of me, and that's the part of me that has seen multiple Euphoria finale explained videos on YouTube. I think maybe the studio might have pushed him to be a little bit more direct about what the film's about, because modern audiences don't really. I don't know. They've got a franchise in mind, so they want all factions of the audience to get it. So it keeps them on side for this potential franchise. So I think he would have kept things a little more ambiguous, but modern audiences, But I was a fan overall. I'm intrigued to see where it goes, because obviously they're looking to make it a franchise, and I think it's a really great starting block for a franchise, personally. So I was a fan. I also watched Lee Cronin's 2026 Lee Cronin film, Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Lee Cronin, who is the director of Lee Cronin's The Mummy, he's gone from he's gone from making the 5th best, by which I mean worst, Evil Dead film, to making the 6th best, aka the worst Evil Dead film. So he's really shattering the glass floor with his filmmaking efforts. It is bad. It's pretty much like all junk, like the whole of it. There's I guess she's the antagonist, but Natalie Grace's performance and the makeup for her character are fucking excellent. And anytime Lee Cronin, director of Lee Cronin's The Mummy, whenever he has like the sense to like let her be still and be silent in a scene, she's genuinely creepy. Like they got under my skin. But he can't help himself because then he's got to have her skittering around the house on all fours and twitching and saying dumb shit. And the one saving grace of the film is that performance, and he works pretty hard to spoil that as well. The other performances are awful, even though that like the casts I've seen in other things and they're pretty reliable performers, but they're dreadful in this. The visuals are ugly and murky as fuck. The writing is fucking laughable. The CGI is appalling. Like, how is CGI sand some kind of stumbling block? How are you struggling to make CGI sand? What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't know. It's a whole fucking pile of shit. It is Lee Cronin's pile of shit, and I'm sad that it was so well received because it's not going to be the nail in his directorial coffin that it should be. Absolute shit.
I'm curious if it'll be the worst Evil Dead movie this year. Because there's another one coming, an actual Evil Dead movie.
Yeah, I saw the second trailer for it. I hated the teaser. Like, I hated it. And then the full-length trailer looked better, but it also looked like it's got a lot of really rank CGI in it that's gonna bug me. We'll see. I don't know what happened with the rights to Evil Dead, but apparently now they're going like full pelt, just going fucking wild with Evil Dead shit.
Sam Raimi realized he's on a time limit.
I guess. Last one. Now that I am a fully fledged member of the Dylan O'Brien fan club that T started, still waiting on my starter pack, Tyler, from the fan club. You can send it out to me soon.
All right. I got you.
Okay. I watched the 2026 comedy drama Twinless, and that was excellent. You get 2 fantastic Dylan O'Brien performances for the price of one. His like mustachioed gay twin is like worth the price of admission alone. They're both really good characters he plays. One of them, you feel like 20 years ago someone would have miscast it with Mark Wahlberg. It's a very like, if Mark Wahlberg was good, that's who should play that character. And then you've got his sexy camp gay twin, and they're just both such polar opposite and just perfect performances. I'm a fan. That's definitely one thing that Tyler's convinced me of. It's got really great performances from James Sweeney, who's the writer and director as well. And here we go. How dare you have an Irish and Italian name? I'm really gonna fuck this up. Eileen Franciosi. Eileen Franciosi from The Nightingale. She's really good as well. She's having a much nicer time here than she did in The Nightingale. Script is really funny. Sometimes it's gently funny. Sometimes it's darkly funny. Sometimes it's filthy funny. Then it's pretty funny the whole way through. Cinematography is fucking outstanding. It is a really beautiful looking film. The chemistry between all the main players is excellent. And it just hit me right in the feels, like over and over again. It's a really good one, and I think me and T should get word to James Sweeney because I think he would definitely be interested in the Dylan O'Brien fan club because he basically just hired Dylan O'Brien to like drape himself over, and I don't blame him because Dylan O'Brien's great. You know who Dylan O'Brien reminds me of, Tyler?
Who?
Dylan O'Brien.
Jakey G.
Oh yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
I think they're similar actors in that they will do such good work that it kind of goes weirdly unnoticed because it's not flashy and it's not saying, "Hey, look at me," and people maybe won't realize just how good he is. But I'm a big fan now, and you should all watch Twin. It's really good. And that is me.
This week, we saw the 2010 science fiction sex comedy mystery film from Greg Araki, Kaboom, and the 2025 epic sci-fi drama written and directed by Gan. I'm sorry, I butchered that. Resurrection or Wild Times. Hey, Craig,
Yes.
would you like to pick a movie and tell us about it?
Sure. I will pick Resurrection. Oh my God, no. Means I have to do a synopsis. Wait there.
Good luck.
Right on down. And in China, some Chinese people do some seriously Chinese shit, and no, that's not good enough. Give me a second. I'm going IMDb. I cannot even begin to come up with. Good God, I use IMDb too much. Yeah, scrolling. Here we go. In a society where people stop dreaming to extend their lifespans, some dangerous individuals still dream, warping the fabric of time. Howdy. Can I just say, like, the film was very, very good, and then we'll just leave it there. Just, I struggle. Like, it might just be Kevin who remembers this. I don't know if you guys would have seen it over in America. But do you remember that viral story about like this Congolese gentleman who arrived at BBC headquarters for a job interview, but he was mistaken for a technology journalist and was interviewed live on air?
Yeah, it was about something to do with music turning to streaming and the impact on the industry and that, wasn't it?
Yeah, and God bless him, he really tried, but that was that was not what. That's this. I'm going to try and talk about this film, but I'm woefully underqualified. But giving my 2 cents anyway, because that's what we do. I think I get one of the central themes. Dreams as a representation of imagination, creativity, art, how we express our innermost selves to the world. Art as the peak of human evolution, as I believe it is. I believe that art is the absolute peak of human evolution. So I feel like I get that bit. But when it comes to like the 6 chapters of the film as representations of the 6 senses of the Buddha, I was all at sea. Like, I could not make those connections. I'm the Night Beast guy. I do Night Beast. This was a lot for me. So, to me, it becomes almost like an anthology of unconnected stories. Not because they are unconnected, but because I couldn't connect them, if that makes sense. So I kind of had to judge them on their own merits separately, rather than looking at this like larger tapestry, because I just couldn't see it. I couldn't make those connections. Luckily, like, those stories, the stories are all good. They range from very good to like jaw dropping. I might as well tell you now, Tyler, this is my winner for the week. It was absolutely my winner, and it was my winner at the 20-minute mark, I think. Like, that first 20-minute segment was so extraordinary. But the rest of this film could have been a POV shot of the protagonist watching Fiona, and this film would still win, just for that first 20 minutes, because it is staggeringly beautiful and technically incredible and just absolutely magnificent. It's breathtaking stuff, and it really like sets out Resurrection's stall, I think, in terms of its aesthetic, because it does something I've only seen like once before. It's I've seen it once before in like Spike Lee's Malcolm X, where each era of the story is represented by the cinematic style and techniques of that era. You know, I've never seen anyone done. The only person I've ever seen to do that before is Spike Lee, and it's it's just a really impressive feat. You know, the cinematography is so precise. Like the camera work is incredible. It's so fluid. Like my second favorite chapter is I don't even know what you call it. It's like a Wong Kar-wai meets Gaspar Noé urban vampire romance, and it's fantastic. And it's shot in like one astonishing fucking take, which doesn't even seem physically possible. Like the camera work in this film is god tier. The production design, the sets in particular, are just meticulously crafted. The editing is spectacular. Not just I don't know what you call it, but you know, usual editing. But there are so many transitions in camera in this film, uh, using parts of a set, things falling away. They're just jaw dropping. The sound design and the dialogue, they really kind of sell they're the part that really sells like the dream logic, the fractured, feel of a dream, which I don't see happen very often. I don't see films don't do decent. They just don't do dreams well. They don't translate. You know, the only time I've ever seen a dream that feels like a dream is in The Sopranos, where they have a couple of dream sequences which people seem to hate, which I absolutely love because they feel like real dreams. They have that fractured feeling, but that I saw here, and the sound design and the dialogue really sell it. Performances are all fantastic, but Jackson Yee is the main character, and he does what 4 or 5 different turns as the Deliriant in different eras, and they're so good that he's practically unrecognizable from chapter to chapter. It helps that the hair and makeup is brilliant, but he gives such he just gives a whole bunch of excellent performances in this film. So yeah, technically it's beyond reproach, like as a piece of art. But where, not going to name any names, Christopher Nolan and Denis Villeneuve. Sorry. There are a lot of technically accomplished filmmakers who can be really cold in their execution of their films, and that's not this film. This film had so many moments that really moved me. There's the creation of the projector in the first scene, the contents of the lunchbox, someone remembering the sound of a family member snoring, Zheng Yi Li singing karaoke. Like those all really move me, but also they're the ones that I had context for. There are other times when the mise en scène was just so evocative. But I had goosebumps without being sure what was causing them. There was just something on the screen that was giving me a visceral reaction that even I didn't really know the cause. So it's a quite remarkable piece of art. Like subjectively, it will never be a favorite of mine because it's too exhausting and it's too impenetrable for a stupid person like me. But like objectively speaking, as in objectively speaking, how good is this film? It's incredibly good. It is wild and stunningly put together, and just a really just a near peerless piece of cinematic art, which I was very happy to see, even if I understood about 25% of it by the time it finished. It really was it's something special. Yeah, so I'm glad I got to watch it.
Not only am I glad that I got to watch it, but I'm glad that Dave reached out and then threw Craig's name in the ring for describing one of the films first this week, and Craig went with this because then I can just echo what Craig has said and cover up my own insecurities and ignorance about this. Yeah, I mean, genuinely, I think Craig, we've both had a very similar experience with this. Like, it is a dense film, I would say, in terms of the way, like, it sets up the premise, but then it's really kind of just taking you through various scenarios with you eventually sort of putting the pieces in place together. Because initially you're just looking at different kind of subgenre tropes and seeing things, so you're getting that sense, and then you're sort of realizing who the main character is again, and what's going on, and what this might be. You know, it's a movie playing out, but what part of their journey this might be, or what metaphor might be playing out in a way. And I'm saying that without even being sure if there were certain bits that were metaphors, or if I should just take it all completely literally and just essentially hang on while it would feel like you're being dragged through the reels of a cinema projector itself. It's a beautiful film in terms of the visuals and the moments that sort of resonate emotionally. And again, as Craig said, there are moments here that are just people connecting to other people, or memories, or bits of humanity, or their life in different little ways. Like, I couldn't tell you what the ultimate point of every story was. I did try and do a bit of homework. Dave, you'll be impressed. But I've immediately forgotten what I learned, so maybe you'll be less impressed by that. But it was something to do with I think, if I remember right, they say it was, each section had a certain sense at the heart of it, and that is to do with, I can't remember if it was Hinduism or Buddhism.
Buddhism. It's the ayatana. I
Right,
butchered that
yeah,
word.
that's
I'm sorry,
exactly
but
what I
yeah.
was going to say. Yeah. So there is that. But I wouldn't have necessarily got that without looking more into it. And then I was like, okay, that makes sense with what I watched. But taken separately, they all have, like this does almost work as a simplistic anthology as well. Because I really loved the little story that was basically the con artist tale, with the guy who ends up working with the young girl, and they're potentially going to tell some guy about a letter or a memory of his his daughter, or I think it's his daughter. Like that's a little wonderful story. It's all self-contained. I I think you can watch this and enjoy it on that surface level for self-contained stories, and you can figure out sort of who you're supposed to follow in each section, and you can enjoy it. The beauty of the film, and where it does really, I mean, it really layers on the substance and the density, is how it does wonderfully wind together. And it does. I'm not exaggerating when I say I did feel like I was kind of grabbing onto a film reel and then being pulled into the projector, like from the start of the film. And that's a deliberate feeling that uh, is it Bygone? That's a deliberate feeling that they give you, and it's wonderfully evocative. They nail every different aspect that they play around with, and I came out of this at the end much like Craig, not fully understanding everything I watched, but feeling like deeply moved and like heartened by it. You know, that simple setup at the start, telling you about the people who don't dream and the immortality, and the rest of the film, whatever it's meant to tell me at every step of the way, I just came away thinking it's it's always wonderful to dream. It's wonderful to dream ourselves into movies, and it's wonderful to have movies, and these different kind of connected organic thoughts were pulsing away, and things were firing around in my brain that maybe they were zip zapping around in ways that weren't intended, but it was still a great feeling for me at the end result. And this this was really quite quite the delight and quite this strange wonderfulness that I recommend to like everyone who loves cinema, and particularly people who can then send Craig and I cheat sheets so we can maybe follow along next time we're watching it.
You know, I find it funny that Craig and Kevin think they're not qualified to review this movie, but I just got done praising a movie involving Marlon Wayans teaching a person how to eat pussy while rolling a blunt. So, uh, but look, I love trash and I love art, and I can appreciate both. I love Lloyd Kaufman just as much as I love Terrence Malick. So I think you can appreciate both forms of art, being that it's trashy or classy or whatever. Yeah, this movie was fantastic, just wonderful. It almost gave me like this weird, like out of body experience watching it. I can't explain it, but it just I feel that was the intention of the film, so I'm gonna go with it. Visually, this is absolutely fucking gorgeous. Some of the imagery used in this movie is truly just unmatched. Just it's a total feast for the eyes. Complex, ambitious, beautifully crafted. It's just, yeah, it's bold and innovative. Not once did it ever feel like it was 2 hours and 40 minutes. I couldn't believe it was on that long. I looked at the clock and it was on like 2 hours and 15. I'm like, there's no way this is over 2 hours. And I thought it was like an hour and a half and it was almost over. Just, yeah, it's moves so good. It just pacing is perfect. But look, I feel this movie was made for people who love cinema because it truly is cinema displayed as the art form that it actually is. It's a technical marvel. It truly is. I saw I was going through like reviews for it on Letterboxd after I watched it, and I saw a negative review for this on Letterboxd calling it self-indulgent. And look, I can't disagree more with this person. I mean, just because a structure of a film is complex, it doesn't mean the film or the filmmaker is self-indulgent. I mean, it does if it's Christopher Nolan because he's a self-indulgent hack, but that's a different story. But um, but yeah, I really like this. I love that Dave and I both picked sci-fi movies this week and both pretty much display our sensibilities perfectly. But yeah, this was fantastic. Dave, truly great pick. I'm not picking it this week, but it was an incredible pick. So
Yeah, trust me, bud. I am aware of my fate when I pick with T. So first, can you guess how many films Bygone had made before this?
Not a clue. I'm only aware of one other one, which is a long journey into night. Is it?
Long Day's Journey into Night. Yeah.
That's the one.
So this is his third film,
Oh.
and the amount of technical prowess and skill on display is staggering. Because he takes us through five, well, I guess six. Well, okay, there's four dreams. Okay, so and then the future. So I guess 7 eras we look at, and each one has its own distinct language and movement, and that opening scene in the silent film is staggering. Just on a technical level, when they're on the turntable set with the cutaways and you don't see shit made like this, and you haven't seen shit made like this since like 1924 in Germany. It is perfect. And that goes into a noir. And the noir is a modern take on a noir, but they understand the language of it. And that goes into mid-century, a mid-century two-hander. And that goes into a 70s con artist film. And that goes in to a very, very 90s horror movie. And it just, he does it all perfectly. The skill and talent and just the craft on display, and not just from Gone, but from the screenwriter. He co-wrote it with I am going to butcher all these names. I am so sorry. Zhai Zhao, who also wrote I'm going to remember in like 2 seconds. Nothing that's out yet, but they have something coming. I read about, and it's not coming to me at all, and I need to move on, or I will sit here for 5 minutes going, It's excellent. The cinematography is Dong Jin-sung, who also did Coal Black Thin Ice, Gun's previous film, Long Day's Journey into Night, which is also, like, you want to talk about a movie that's amazing and does 3D really well. I think the last 60 minutes of it is in 3D, and it's amazing. He also did the cinematography for The Wild Goose Lake, which I think me and Craig both really dug.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a fantastic cinematographer. The cast is excellent. Jackson Yi is great. Shu Kwai is the guide and, I guess, narrator. She is also excellent. She actually directed a film last year as well called Girl that is supposed to be really good. That is on the list eventually. She's a Taiwanese actress, and she's always fantastic when she shows up. She did some Cat 3 films in the mid 90s. I think she's in, I don't remember if she's in all 3 or only 2 of the Sex and Zen films. Always excellent. The rest of the cast is incredible. The ayatana all have elements that tie into them, and Gon uses those also. The element for taste is water, so that's why bitterness keeps messing with the trough. And there's and some of the shots in this are just incredible. Some of the reflections and stuff. For it's the earth, and that's why they end up in the field. Like, they touch on all of it, and it's really good. For body, the last one, it's heat, and that's why it's red so often. Like, what they do is just fantastic. It is an incredible work of cinema, and after watching this, I've just felt like a total spoiled snob all week. And maybe that's why I wasn't as kind to Backrooms and Obsession as I might normally be. Because after this, like, nothing has stacked up. It is art. And, like, I would gush pretentiously about it for an hour if I didn't have other things to talk about, and Kevin wasn't going to whine if he was kept awake for too long.
Oh, no, I'm good this week.
Oh, awesome. It's fantastic. You should run out and see it. And I can't underline that enough. Craig messaged us, and his message is spot on, and this is how I'm going to sell it to everybody. This is a movie David Lynch died too early for. He should have seen it. You know? That is one of life's great injustices. He probably could have died happy if he had seen this movie first. It is brilliant. It is something that, like, we like to talk about American auteurs or even just generally Western auteurs, and none of them get close to this. This takes stuff I have seen other people try to do in films we've covered, like just the example off the top of my head is Terry Gilliam's The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, where it takes the same concept, but it actually does it well and not incompetently and goofy as fuck. It is an absolutely brilliant film, and just it is real artistry. and all the pretentious folks in Hollywood can go fuck themselves because you can't make this shit. This is my crack. This is my this is my drug. This is why I love film. I love film for experiences I can never have, and this gave me 7 of them. Are some of them ridiculous bullshit? Yes. But they're incredible ridiculous bullshit. The New Year's Eve escapade in the last story before it goes to the finale is just jaw-dropping. The fluidity and how things move in that is just amazing. It is just, there is an assurance and a skill and a fucking daringness that we just don't see often enough. I cannot stress more how folks need to go see this film. You need to see this movie. It's streaming on Criterion, I believe, here and in the UK. Am I right about that, Kevin?
I watched it there, but we actually don't officially have Criterion here in the UK.
Oh, I thought you guys did. I'm sorry.
No,
My bad.
I used the VPN to sign up, and then I can always use it.
You should use a VPN and get a free trial and watch Resurrection, because it is fucking brilliant. It really, I've used that word like a couple times the past month when I haven't used it for years before now. But it is amazing, and you need to do yourself a favor and go watch it, tonight. And now I'm going to let Kevin talk about Kaboom.
Oh, well...
No, what were you going to say first? Yeah, go for
Resurrection was it... It was just last year, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
It was a very recent one. I was just going to say, I know it's a cliche, and I know it can sound a bit kind of wanky when you say it as well, but this is the kind of thing, people, not everyone will enjoy it or necessarily even appreciate it, but it's the kind of thing you want to slap in someone's face when they're like, no, don't get good movies anymore, even if they're not happy with the current horror movie boom again or any other good mainstream releases. If they're after some art or if they're after something with a bit of food for thought, and they'll still complain, be like, there's still plenty out there. You just have to keep looking for it and listening to people who tell you about it.
Yeah, you have to go afield and you have to listen to everybody. And that's the thing. Someone told me way back in the 90s, a guy that worked at the local mom and pop video store, being a film fan is like panning for gold. You are going to stick your little wire mesh in a lot of rivers and get shit. But when you get gold, it is something truly special. And this is something truly special.
And yeah, now we get to Tyler's choice, Kaboom. Speaking of something truly special, Tyler is coming back with the Greg Araki train, which is why we knew he would never, ever, ever vote for Dave's pick this week.
Ever.
Even if it was his favourite pick of the week, hand delivered to him on the back of Sydney Sweeney's buttocks, he would not have voted for it. But Tyler, I've got to tell you now, I like Kaboom. I really like it. So it's Araki doing. It's described as a science fiction sex comedy mystery. I guess that is correct. Thomas Dekker plays Smith, who's a film student who I've got to say he's fluid with his sexuality. He's shown having a lot of lusty thoughts for his roommate, Thor, who is apparently straight, but then that is played up for laughs. He also ends up, though, getting involved in a sexual relationship with London, played by Juno Temple, and basically he would happily go about and just bed hop and have a good time. If it weren't for the pesky bad dreams he was having, thinking that people are going to snatch them away and start some kind of bloody apocalypse. That is Kaboom in a nutshell. I like it. I think it's I think it's a lot of fun. Like Araki, I've enjoyed a lot of Greg Araki movies, but I think Kaboom is his most fun. I like Mysterious Skin just as much, but from what I recall, that one's not as fun. It's gets a bit darker. Smiley Face is obviously kind of more outright comedy, but I still just think Kaboom is the one that still feels like all of his essential Arakiness with a bit more polish and just a bit more wit. It's helped by the main performance from Decker, who's really good. He's really kind of just like quite, he's quite sullen and eye rolling for a lot of it, but he's quite good at it. And it really helps that Juno Temple is a bit of a whirlwind through this. I think she's great. Her confidence is really, really good. It's a very, Tyler does like to pick the sex positive movies. I think Juno Temple certainly really embodies that for a young woman who doesn't mind like telling people exactly what she likes and how things could go best in the bedroom. That's good. It's good to see. I also really like Haley Bennett, who plays a friend named Stella. She's really good in this as well. So both of I would call them the sort of the main leads. Chris Zilka's fun as Thor, particularly in the scenes that are shot just to show up how let's say how borderline absolutely out of the closet he should be with the way he's just playing around, and he's kind of trying to overdo the heterosexuality so much that Smith, the main character, reads a lot of it as homosexuality. So that is it's quite fun to see that exaggerated and spun for comic effect. Yeah, I lose a bit of interest in this by the very end. I don't think it sort of stays as strong right up until the end. So in that regard, I think Araki does better when it comes to the kind of the more nihilistic stuff that he has with the Doom Generation and God, the other one that I mentioned about 2 minutes ago. God damn it, I've gone blank.
Mysterious Skin.
Yes, thank you. But the positives in this throughout make it like just it's really entertaining. It's really it feels like it has a really good energy throughout, despite it winding towards something that could be quite dark. Like you can feel something looming coming up for the final act, and that is a constant presence thanks to the dreams of the main character and what they're kind of talking about and where things are going. But it manages to stay light and upbeat and positive for most of the runtime, and that's what I like most about it. I like it most when there are dark elements, but it's the swirling undercurrent, and it's almost like the main characters are too busy anyway, kind of living their life to the max and having fun and having stumbles and figuring themselves out to really worry about the light at the end of the tunnel that could be a train heading towards them, say. So when you do get that third act, I think it just for me it couldn't sort of satisfy as much as the rest of the film. But overall, it's a really good one. I think it's one of Araki's best films. I really like it.
Yeah, it's been a strange and confusing week when you think about it, because this is the apocalyptic, supernatural, queer college sex comedy was the most traditional and accessible film of the week, which is kind of crazy. That's really, really something. You, the pair of you hurt my brain this week, to be honest. I like Kaboom. It's the most unserious film to ever have the end of the world as a plot point. And I realised I could have said least serious instead of most unserious, but most unserious kind of fits better because its unseriousness is a feature. It's not a bug. You know what I mean? It is very deliberately unserious in a way that I really enjoyed. I really like its whole take on the college experience when, you have this brief period of freedom, total freedom with, you have all this social and sexual liberation and exploration and self-discovery, and it's great, but it comes with the expectation, I think 99% of the time, that when it's done, you will fall into line and follow a largely predetermined path, whether that path is becoming a lawyer, becoming a doctor, or becoming the key component in the end of days. It is all prophesized. And I liked that take on it. It's an interesting one, and I feel like it's a bit of a. I felt it was a bit of a love letter to Twin Peaks as well. I don't know if anyone else felt that way. I think horny Twin Peaks via the CW instead of via 50s melodrama. Like, if it wasn't for the big red button, this would be a pretty perfect TV pilot, I think. Cast are good. I like Thomas Dekker. I have done since the Sarah Connor Chronicles. He's really good in that. I think it's kind of a thankless role in ways because it doesn't ask a lot of him. He just has to look bemused or horny or bemused and horny. He's kind of. I feel like he is playing the themes of the movie rather than playing a character in the movie. He's a character who wants to be free, have all this freedom, but he also has absolutely no agency at all throughout the film. Things happen to him, and that's intentional, I think. But he makes no choices through this entire film, and I don't know. It just makes for a slightly thankless role, but he is really good in it. Juno Temple is adorable and peculiar, which is just her wheelhouse, so she's perfect. Hayley Bennett she's excellent. She's an excellent kind of sarcastic hag who gets a bunch of the best lines. Chris Zilka of the underrated Raiders of a Podcast classic Hairdresser Chronicles. That's what it's called, wasn't it, Tyler?
That was way back in episode 2, by the way.
Was
Ooh,
Dixieland, baby.
Dixieland.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dixieland.
never remember the name of that film that I liked.
That was
really fun.
487 episodes ago.
Yeah, go Hairdresser Chronicles. Yeah, he's really fun as Thor. He does this scream when he gets pepper sprayed, which made me choke. It's very, very funny. Even Araki's good luck charm stroke charity project, James Duval, is fun in this. The cast are really good. The script is fun. It's super fucking bitchy in spots. I can't remember who says it. I think it's Hayley Bennett says it. Sucking a fart out of a dead seagull's ass is a wonderful line. And dude, it's a vagina, not a bowl of spaghetti. I'm going to take you on a little journey here because you remember when I no one asked me to, but I spoke to you all about my how excited teenage me was to finally do some cunnilingus. And we're going to get part 2 of that story now, because when I finally did when there was a girl who was willing to let me do that, I took the British expression licking out kind of at face value. So what I assumed the correct technique was, do you have Maltesers in the US?
Wait, what?
Do you have Maltesers in the US? They're little sweets.
Uh,
Balls of chocolate.
we do. We call them something else, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, imagine if a lady had one of them like kind of jammed in her vaginal passage, and you had to try and get it out with your tongue. This is the motion that I went with. Not just the first time I went down on a girl, but every time for the first year until I was like gently guided to the correct area. Because no one told me how to do it. I just did, right, licking out. I must be licking something out. This is so the bowl of spaghetti line. It really spoke to me, you know.
Right,
This
I never thought I'd be sat here listening to you say, imagine the lady on the Malteser squeezed between
It's the best way I can describe it. They're like an excavation.
this is why communication during sex is so very important.
Sex ed classes need to teach people how to do sex.
I
Not
hope
just
Vicky's
not
still
just how to be
awake
careful.
when we finish recording so I can tell her this whole conversation.
But there we go. So, if there are any children listening, don't do that. Don't ever do that. It's awful. Back to Kaboom. I really like the lighting. It's got a pop art lighting that I really like. The editing is fucking excellent. Like Araki is wildly underrated as an editor because he always edits his film and he always finds a style that fit the tone of the film, fit the energy of the film. And this is great. The editing in this film, it's playful and it's silly in just the right way for Kaboom. He's such a good editor. He really needs to get more recognition for that. The soundtrack is fantastic. Like, I think Araki might be the best since Scorsese in terms of soundtracking his movies. He is so good at it, and I would kill human beings to have a little root through his record collection because I bet it is immense. And it's perfectly paced too, because one of the things I really like about it is he lets the film reach its most enjoyable and insane point and then just slams the brakes on like as abruptly as you can imagine. And it's the climax of a film. It's kind of a it's kind of a ruined climax, if you know what I mean, to this film, and like a perfect punchline, which I just I really loved the big red button. So yeah, it's a really fun one. It is basically cinematic candy floss. It's not trying to be anything particularly, intellectual or serious, but it's cinematic candy floss was exactly what I needed to go with this week's other film. So it was a really, really nice, just a perfect little pairing this week, and I enjoyed Kaboom quite a lot.
Yeah, I agree with both of them. Kaboom is a lot of fun, and it is a nice little dessert after Resurrection. I watched it first because I knew the 40-course meal would ruin everything else for me this week. But yeah, it's really good. Decker is good. I think we all adore Juno Temple in ways that are probably worrying to our therapists. Haley Bennett's decent, if slightly underused. Nicole La Liberté, that's a name, is fun as the MacGuffin, which has a nice Hitchcock reference in her name. I even didn't hate James Duvall, which we all know is saying something.
Indeed.
Because usually James Duvall shows up and I go, I don't get it. I don't understand. Does he have blackmail on Greg Araki or any of the other people he's worked like how? But no, he's fine here. He's perfectly all right in his scenes. He's even fun in parts. Yeah, this is a blast. I don't have much to add from what they've said. The editing is on point. The soundtrack is great. The cast is really good. The twist and reveal is just it's ridiculous and it's out of nowhere and it is perfect for this. Yeah, I also I almost wish that this had been the pilot for Now Apocalypse. Maybe that show would have lasted a second season like it deserved to. But you can definitely see where Araki's going with his career after Kaboom. But yeah, it's a good one. It is worth discussing. It is worth watching. Go, check it out, but only, a couple days after you watch Resurrection. I can speak.
This is the first time I've ever heard someone refer to sucking a Hershey's Kiss out of a pussy while describing a technique of how to eat pussy. So Craig really he brought some A game,
It's a Whopper, dude. Malted milk balls in the U.S. Whoppers. Come on,
oh,
you
they're
know that.
Whoppers. I haven't had a Whopper in years, but I just
I mean, a Hershey Kiss would be a better technique than
it
the
would.
large malted milk ball scooping it out with your. That's just a choice, man.
It's a choice, but I mean, this is me we're talking about here too. Someone who makes ass eating jokes on the regular. So I mean, this is just me. But yeah, like Dave, we have my crack. I love this movie dearly. I mean, it's so wonderfully horny too. I mean, this movie is horny as fuck in the most Greg Araki way possible. It's glorious. I mean, there's something for everybody here, no matter what your sexual preference is to, like straight, gay, bisexual, pansexual, whatever it may be, it's here. It's weird, funny, super vibrant. The cast is great. Look, I love Araki's obsession with the end of the world too. It's a theme that runs through so much of his work, and it's full on display here to the point that this almost feels like the Greg Araki magnum opus of everything he's been building up to in his career. It's an LSD infused sci-fi sex comedy with animal mass cults and dystopian fantasy. It's hyper stylized. I love the editing in this. Araki's movies always have such wonderful editing too. I mean, it's a low budget film, but man, his stuff always looks so fucking good. Nobody does multi-genre quite like Greg Araki. I mean, he's the master at it. Yeah, we really need to cover Now Apocalypse for the mini-sodes one day, because this movie is truly that show, but 4 hours long. Like, I mean, they'd make the perfect double bill. There's so many themes in this movie that he carries over to Now Apocalypse. It's almost like a sequel in many ways. Just yeah, it's Now Apocalypse is wonderful. I can't express enough how good that fucking show is. But I love Thomas Dekker as the lead. He's still the best John Connor. I said it, I mean it. Juno Temple is wonderful. And she is just absolutely fucking adorable. I love Juno Temple, Haley Bennett. Chris Zilka is a total highlight. He's genuinely great in this. Like, he's really funny in this. He's great as Thor. A Rocky regular, James Duvall, pops up. I love James Duvall. The soundtrack, as you guys said, is fucking fantastic, but that's also a common theme running through almost all of Greg Araki's work. His soundtracks are always just top notch. But yeah, I love this movie, and I love the ending. It does feel like a pilot episode to a TV show that I wish existed, but I think that's why he made Now Apocalypse like right after this. So, yeah, Kaboom is fantastic. I love this movie dearly. I'm glad we got to cover two sci-fi movies that kind of express what we love in cinema, like me and Dave's. Yeah, Kaboom is a classic, and I love it. But Greg Araki is like one of my absolute heroes, and I just love everything he does.
It's time to pick one. I know we all know how this is going to play out, but I am contractually obligated to say it. For me, it is Resurrection, but you wouldn't go wrong watching Kaboom, if given that you are a consenting adult.
Yeah, well, watch them both, but Resurrection is just next tier, just incredible.
Yeah, once again, what Craig said.
Yeah, I watched them both, but I could never vote against Greg Araki. So Resurrection is fantastic, but yeah, I can't vote against Araki. So Kaboom.
Next week, it's Craig and Kevin picking. So what do you guys got for us?
You go first, Kevin, because I'm trying to find my notes because I forgot.
All right, I recently got a shiny new 4K of this childhood favourite that I'm making us all watch. It's 1953 classic sci-fi Invaders from Mars.
Ooh. Oh, here we go. And I'm going for the 1984 crime thriller Kill Point.
Ooh, actually, that's not a bad lineup. Okay, so we're going to close this month with a special, because it's my turn to pick, dedicated to one of my favorite directors, a gentleman from China who or Hong Kong mostly, who I don't feel gets enough love in the U.S. We've only covered 3 of his films over the last bajillion years we've been doing this, so I think it's time to finally give the wonderful Johnny To his due. And the film I am going to make us watch for that is Mad Detective.
Ooh.
So you guys settle down, try to figure out which Johnny To film you want us to watch. And remember, we have seen Election, Triad Election, and Throwdown.
I'm still trying to figure out how it's your wasn't the Prisoner special your special? What is going on?
No, that was that we were going to do, as I explained before, we all decided to do that instead of asking someone for a pick. Remember, we were like, "Hey, that sounds topical. Let's do that instead."
There was a guest pick, which
Yeah.
Anna she had her little fingers in that one.
Yeah.
I call bullshit.
No,
Bullshit.
that's not bullshit. That's how it went.
I am not
I'm
an
sorry.
enslaved podcaster. I am a free man.
Hey, Craig.
No, I forgot to write it
You
down.
didn't
here.
do it. You
I'll
didn't
do it
fucking
next
do
time.
Hey, Tyler, teach him
Yes.
how it's done.
We're on Instagram, Raiders_of_podcast. We're on Facebook, where I sometimes remember to post stuff on Wednesday. We have a YouTube channel where you can like, subscribe, and watch Kevin's awesome videos, sometimes weekly. We have a Discord, we have a Blue Sky, and you can always email us at raidersofthepodcast@gmail.com and tell us how you prefer to eat pussy.
Show Craig how it's done. I get what you were saying there. I understand.
Stick
That's
figure
fine.
illustrations coming. I can't wait. As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
See ya.
Yeah.